Hi everyone, it's Cheryl Rhodes and I'm here to give you my review of CIBC, a Canadian bank that I've never done business with. That's right, I've never walked through the doors of any CIBC branch and I've never had any financial services with them. So you must be asking yourself, how can I review CIBC? The answer is because I'm a CIBC victim. I've been plagued with prank phone calls from a company CIBC contracts with called FDR, pranking me and asking for the wrong person again and again and again and again. I'm not sure what part of "you've called the wrong number" that CIBC and their hired scammers have difficulty understanding. I got through to the CIBC complaints desk and told a man I wanted the prank phone calls to stop because the scammers don't understand what "you've called the wrong number" means, and he said he'd pass along my phone number to FDR and the calls would stop. Liar! And if you think I'm just an isolated case, you're wrong. There's complaints all over the internet, particularly on a website called 800 Notes, where people write about their experiences with phone numbers they pulled off their call display. And there are hundreds of complaints about CIBC and their hired scammers continuously phoning the wrong people, even after they've been told multiple times, "You've called the wrong number." There's a company called the Customer Service Box where people can read and rate reviews of bad customer service and rude, unhelpful staff at CIBC. And a recent complaint is also being plagued with continuous phone calls with the collection department looking for someone who isn't at that phone number. So that begs the question, why does CIBC and their hired scammers keep phoning a number after being told that person doesn't live here and you've called the wrong number? Does CIBC think that the person they're looking for will magically somehow start living there and answering that telephone? Get a clue, CIBC. Continuously phoning the wrong number isn't going to make the person you're looking for suddenly be living at that phone number. What are you, a bunch of morons? You scammers need to stop phoning the wrong number and harassing innocent victims. In keeping with the CIBC scam routine, they have the gall to send me emails saying there's suspicious activity on my account or my credit card has been blocked. So far, CIBC has been unable to explain how a person who has never had an account or a credit card with their bank can have it suspended. But really, go ahead and block and suspend this fictional account all you want. Doesn't hurt my feelings in the slightest. It's unknown if these emails are from other scammers trying to get my information or from some bizarre CIBC marketing campaign to bring in new customers, but I'm not stupid enough to click the link. Either way, scammers! I've written articles about my experience with CIBC with their hired scammers making prank wake-up calls to me, and a follow-up article about the insincere apology I received from CIBC when I called to complain about their prank wake-up calls. The CIBC employee didn't care. She said, "Oh, we all make mistakes and call wrong numbers." Sure, I agree, but at 7 in the morning to a number they've been repeatedly told is the wrong number and they won't stop calling it? CIBC doesn't care. And they love bad publicity. Check out below this video for links to my articles and newspaper articles about how CIBC is helping Chinese residents hide money, how CIBC loves Enron, and there's also a lawsuit against them for a different type of harassment. I also have a link to a posting in a forum where a former CIBC employee dishes on what it's really like working there, and it's really very interesting reading. In addition to CIBC's lack of compassion dealing with me, CIBC has no compassion for the homeless, which is just awful. I mean, people who are down on their luck, don't have a roof over their head, don't know where their next meal is coming from, and CIBC treats the homeless like shit. You can read more about the homeless man's story in my article about fake empathy and insincere apologies at CIBC. It's difficult to understand his story with only a collection of screen prints of his proof of going back and forth with CIBC, plus his writing, which is kind of rambling at times, but the best I can put it together is the homeless man had money in a CIBC account and was informed by email to remove the money by a certain date, and if he shows up after that date, they'll call the cops on him for trespassing. Really nice, CIBC. How compassionate can you be to the homeless, trying to cause them more misery? Anyway, as you can probably imagine, it's not easy for the homeless to access their email, so he saw it too late and has been trying ever since to get his money back. I don't understand the legal basis that CIBC has for holding on to someone's money, and I think they should just try the path of least resistance and give it back to him. And the money he's claiming is around $3,000, and he keeps trying to get it back. And sure enough, CIBC called the cops on him and had him arrested. Heartless. CIBC is a heartless, uncaring financial institution to cause more misery for the homeless. Can you imagine what that money would do for a homeless man? It would give him a roof over his head and meals for a few weeks at least. If you want to deal with a compassionate financial institution, my advice is stay away from CIBC. I'll say it again. Financial compensation is an element of a sincere apology and making things right. But you will never find sincerity or compassion from CIBC, and you won't find the staff going out of their way to make things right. My advice? Take your money somewhere else. CIBC isn't worth the hassles.